we had this amazing biology teacher, Mr. Ingram, and he used to, in fact, I think it's the craziest thing. He taught us how to make a bioweapon in high school. It's like an episode of a TV show or something, but like he taught us how to genetically engineer E. coli to be resistant to ampicillin.
Congratulations on this film. It's so relentless, so insane, so emotional. And I've just found myself so immersed in the world emotionally, but also via the action. One of my favorite moments, Chris, is when you first arrive in the future, you asked this question about, do the Miami Dolphins ever finally win the Super Bowl? And I was just wondering, like, if you were to somehow jump ahead into the future, what would be some questions you'd want to know about that time period that you jumped?
Oh man. There's so much to know. I mean, God, where do you start? You could do like the sort of fun things about like how have the Seahawks won any more rings? You know, there's those types of things that are fun to ask. You'd be curious about, you know, the cast of Friends. Did they do another reunion? You know, whatever happened, you know. But then there are more deep questions that you would probably want to ask, but I'm afraid to get the answer to. So I'll just leave it to the anxiety-ridden imagination of the viewer to imagine what those could be.
Yvonne, for you, what's something that you would want to ask right if you got to the future? Something to be curious about knowing.
I mean, I think I go straight with the practical kind of thing and be like, what should I be investing in?
That's smart.
You know, what's going to do well? Yeah, forget about the deep and meaningful stuff. I don't think I could take it.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely found this film to be interesting because of the fact that it celebrates science. It celebrates innovation and the importance of science. And I was just wondering, like, one of my favorite moments, Chris, in the beginning is when you're a teacher and you're asking your students for questions, and that one kid raises his hand. I'm like, that was me in high school. I was always the one raising my hand and asking questions. I was curious for each of you, what were you like as a student in one of those classes in school? Were you interested in science? Or did you raise your hand a lot? What was your high school experience like?
Oh, I think I'm similar a little bit. I mean, not that I was raising my hand a lot, but I was definitely like, I liked to do well at school. I liked to participate in school. Yeah.
Me too. I got great grades in school. I took really tough classes. I had AP biology, and we had this amazing biology teacher, Mr. Ingram, and he used to, in fact, I think it's the craziest thing. He taught us how to make a bioweapon in high school. It's like an episode of a TV show or something, but like he taught us how to genetically engineer E. coli to be resistant to ampicillin.
What?
So like we made an E. coli virus that was resistant to the only antibiotic that they used to kill it. Granted, the E. coli virus that we're using was like this like genetically engineered version of itself that it would die after 48 hours no matter what. So like even if you got the E. coli, it would die. It was like a benign form of E. coli. But if we did the same technique on the actual E. coli virus, we would create a bioweapon. So that was pretty cool. I'm not sure that they would allow a teacher to let your students do that anymore.
That's crazy.
But it was pretty dope. And he was like kind of Indiana Jones. He had a whip. He always carried knives around with him. I loved him. I got an A in this class.
And when you were dropping into the pool, that was one of the coolest things I've ever seen from a filmmaking perspective. I just wanted to know what that looked like for you real fast before I let you go, because I just found that to be an amazing sequence.
It was like a 3-day sequence, and it was really intense. We built the pool indoors. So the top of that hotel was built on a sound stage. And it was a lot of diving 10 feet into the water, and then a lot of underwater work with moving into a close-up. And I was really, really pushing them to let me go underwater for a lot longer. So like I was doing 1 and 2 minute long breath holds, having people, I'd jump in the water and then I'd have people jump off from 10 feet above on the platform and stomp on me in the water as I was going under. So like over and over again, they kept diving on top of me to push me down. I wanted that sequence to be anxiety inducing. It feel like the man was about to drown, and right before he cracked the surface, get hit again. And so we did that over and over again. And people were really worried about me, but I've got a strong breath hold and I do a lot of free diving. And so that was something that I really loved. It's like a combination of all my favorite things, free diving and filming.
It was so immersive, man. So immersive.